Yes, hello and welcome to another vlog from Ben R. Rider. Today we're testing out the Honda Africa Twin CRF1100. It's a 2021 model with DCT, double clutch transmission. I was especially eager to test out the DCT version of the Africa Twin because I think always, from Honda, the DCT is very nice. But to be honest, when I drove here, I was not really that happy about the DCT. But, the DCT can be adjusted in so many ways, actually. You have 6 riding modes, 2 are configurable, customizable, and you also can change the drive, how the drive actually behaves, the DCT. So I'm sure you can adjust it to your liking, but from out of the box, I do not really like this because, in lower gears, it is kind of, kind of harsh. It also switches very quickly into the upper gears. I know you can change that manually, but, I think that needs a little bit of adaptation to your liking. Anyways, I will explain the controls and the display a little bit, not that much because I don't know very much about it. I just wanted to make a test right here and see what the big hype about the Africa Twin is like. From the outside, actually I do like it. It looks pretty nice, also with the new daytime running lights and stuff. It looks pretty nice in the traffic. So let's get to the controls. Also from the front you can see better maybe the switch for stepping up the gear, and for lowering the gear is down here. The other controls are, high beam, low beam, passing light switch. Then we have a switch here for the communication, for the voice recognition, stuff like that. Also you can get into the display here, or into the menu. And we have a function button here. Then we have a favorite button here. You can set your favorite function to it, I guess. We have an enter button, we have a return button, we have these 2 buttons here, which are for the audio controls, I think so. We have a right and left button, up and down, and we have the horn. We have the blinker switch, which is kind of strange. You have to get used to it. I don't really like it from the start. And we have the hazard light switch here. That's everything. A lot of switches and buttons here on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we have the kill switch and starter switch, which is a combined one. We have the button here for the DCT, automatic, manual mode, neutral, and you can switch from drive mode to sport mode. We also have a cruise control button here, and resume and set just like with any other car, I guess. We also have the front brake there, and let's get to the display. So we have a double display here, one down below, which is an LCD display, which shows that you're neutral, you know, your standard indicator lights for if you have you know, oil is low and stuff like that. You also always show your speed, which is kind of nice here. We have the gear, which is there always, and we also have your odometer reading here, which will be shown constantly. We also show here the traction control on or off ABS. If we move up to the upper screen now, we have 6 riding modes, I think. I haven't counted them, that's what I read. We have tour mode, we can switch them with the up and down buttons here. Let me just quickly change the language to English. We have the urban mode now, and also the mappings will change accordingly to that. We have the gravel mode, we have the off-road, we have the user mode 1, user mode 2, tour mode, and urban, that's it. You also have these little tabs here. You can switch that with the left and right button here on the left hand side. We're now in number 1. In the tab number 1, you see all these values here. If we go to the right, you see different values, trip A, trip B. Then we have the fuel consumption, the range, the battery voltage, the date. And you can actually, in the not customizable riding modes, you can still customize a little bit. So ABS, RR, I don't know what that means, rear something. You can actually change the traction control here and the wheelie control setting. And there is a G, I don't know what the G is for, active or cancel. Somebody please tell me what the G stands for. And, you know, for every mode, of course, you have different mappings. Power mode, power, we have the 2/4 now of the power, so we have half of the power available. Engine brake, traction control, G cancelled, please tell me what G is, and ABS on. It means it's in road mode. Okay. In the display you see, besides the riding mode, you see the depending on the display, of course, you have the speedometer, you have the odometer, you have the RPM counter, and you have the fuel level, you have the coolant temperature, and you can change that a little bit around and customize it. Let's quickly go into the menu here. I press the menu button a little bit longer. Then you have riding information, which is the screen where we just came from. Then you can set up your phone, your media, like music, settings. Let's go into settings. We have functions. Let's go into functions, user modes. You can change the user modes there. You can change the trip, auto cancel, turn signal on, and his indicator. Let's go to the display. What we have here, display mode. Let's go in there. We can change the different displays modes, urban, gravel, off-road, user, and so on. Brightness, automatic, background, auto, favorite information. Let's go in here. You can actually customize all these little tabs there as well, so that's pretty cool. Let's go back. Favorite switch, which is the little star button, I think, what that should actually, where it actually should go. So if I press the start button, we go right to the traction control setting and change it. I will press it now. No, in the menu it does not work. Okay. So let's go back. General, what do we have here? Date and time, units, volume, language, and default. Service, for your shop. Connected services is for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I tried to connect my Android Auto. It does not work. I guess I was doing something wrong. and regulatory. That's it. Let me go back to the main screen, riding information. So if I press this star button here, I will come directly into the traction control, which is called Honda Selectable Torque Control, HSTC, which you can see here. So if I press this button, it is currently at 3. I can directly change it without going into the display and stuff like that. So you can assign this button to something else which you like most, you know. And that is pretty cool, I think. So this is the display, very quickly explained to you. I think that's about it. We also have a USB connection there. It's kind of hidden, so protected from the elements, I suppose. And that's about it. That's my explanation. We will take a little ride on the country roads a little bit now, and I will be back shortly. Let's go and take a little ride here, people. So we have the DCT, I just found out. We have a drive mode, we have an S mode for sport, and in this mode you can basically shift the gears. I mean, you know, in quotes actually, but you can almost shift the gears when you just brake slightly. So I'm in the 4th gear now, I brake. No, now it doesn't work. But it did work before. So if you brake really hard, then it goes down like this, you know, very quickly. And that's pretty nice actually. You can change the DCT, the behavior of the DCT in so many ways. It's pretty nice actually, so I like it. I do like it. At first I had to get used to it. It sounded, or it kind of acted kind of rough with shifting and stuff, but you can adjust everything basically to your liking, you know. So also for longer stretches of road, it's a pretty nice machine, I think, the Honda Africa Twin. So yeah, my first impressions, the seat is fairly firm but still comfortable, I'd say. Also depends, I guess, on how much you weigh. And the mirrors are very nice, motorcycle standard, nothing to complain about the mirrors. I have the lowest seating position here now. This is a standard version, also with a very small windscreen. Unfortunately, I don't really like this on the highway or on the freeway. It's not really, you know, it's a lot of turbulence, unfortunately. What else do we have? Yeah, the seat is hard, but I think it is actually kind of comfy. Then what else do we have? We have a very, very big tire in the front, 21 inch, 18 in the rear, so we have very good handling in the curves. I like it very much. The display at the moment, we have bright sunlight, it's easily readable, everything, no problem. And down there, you know, we also have an LCD or LC display, which is always on. So even if you have navigation maybe on top, you still get the you still have the vital information always, you know, at your fingertips, in your eyesight, yeah, in your view. The suspension on this one is actually not electronically adjustable. It is manually adjustable. For the electronic extra, I think it costs another 2,000 or 3,000 extra, unfortunately. So even if you think this is already a lot of money, the Africa Twin, you have to think twice, because you have to add even more money for that, unfortunately. yeah, that's what it is. You know, Africa Twin is pretty expensive. So if you want to have this electronically dampener controlled ride control like with the BMW, you have to get the much more expensive Africa Twin with all the extra package for this. So we will also go onto the highway or freeway or whatever you call it, where we have a little bit higher speeds, and you will see already, you know, the windscreen. Okay, it should go over my helmet, but there's a lot of turbulence. It is not really good, the windscreen, and I'm sure they have extra bigger the windscreen available, but you know, I think it's a shame that they actually include this teeny tiny windscreen with the with the standard version, unfortunately. Yeah, as I said, you can set the drive mode here. I have set it to S for sports now. The behavior is totally different to the DCT now. It acts a lot differently, and it shifts gears down very quickly when you brake. So that is quite a nice behavior. So if I brake now, see, it shifted down already to third gear. Usually it doesn't shift that quickly down, but since we have this in sport mode here, it is, you know. So let's see if we can switch it again. We have it now in drive mode. And yeah, I think if you don't want to go that sporty, then you know the drive mode is right, and it quickly goes up into the 6th gear to save gas, I guess, you know. In sports mode it stays longer in the lower gears, but if you're not familiar with DCT double clutch transmission, you can also select the gears manually, even if you're in full automatic mode. So at the moment we're in gear number 6. I'll switch it down with a little toggle switch here to 5th gear, 4th gear. As you can see, you can change, but it will change back naturally, you know, because it thinks that it's not in the right gear. Yeah, we have a lot of different riding modes at our fingertips here. We have tour, we have gravel. I think we have 2 for off-road, like off-road and gravel, you know, they're all for off-roading. Not too bad, not too shabby, nice for traveling, I'd say. But you know, as you can hear, at 9100 there's a lot of turbulence here, and this is all because of the windscreen is so tiny. So all in all, yeah, it's a very nice big bike. I mean, it's not a huge big bike like, you know, these KTMs, which have like 190 horsepower or whatever. But it has around about 102 horsepower, so 75 kilowatts, and I think that's definitely enough, you know. For me it would be already overkill, but you know, I just wanted to test it out to see how it rides. And yeah, if you think, you know, it does not shift quickly down from 6th gear, you just use the minus toggle. That works quite nicely. But of course you can change the riding mode and sport mode and all that crap. So once again, I would rather be in 5th gear here. I don't know why it keeps switching that to 6th gear now. Anyways, probably always to conserve energy, conserve fuel. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot test the speed of it because we have this, and we are getting passed by this scooter. Are you crazy people? You gotta be shitting me. sounds are much better, I think. Once again, the sound in my helmet is very, very loud. The noise from the wind. So I guess it definitely needs a different windscreen or upgrade there. This is way too small. Yeah, what I also want to say, the handlebar is very wide, I think. I mean, that is good for handling, you know, in the curves, in the corners. That's pretty nice, definitely. Thanks very much for watching this test ride from an R-Rider. Take care, bye-bye.